Men's lacrosse put on quite the show at Wilkes Wednesday, and I don't think there's any other way to put it than pure domination. Kyle Holmes led the way with 5 goals and 2 assists, followed by Quinn Carson's 4 goals and 2 assists in the blowout. I'd say it was a good fight for a while, but it's far too early in the show to lie to you. Scranton put up 14 in the first half to Wilkes' 4, and it was just cruise control from there. At the final, Scranton had 14 different goal scorers, 9 with multiple goals, and 4 with the hat trick, smashing Wilkes 30-6.
Spring training has been ramping up this past week for the Yankees. The Yanks have high hopes this year after falling short to the Dodgers in the World Series. We'll recap their offseason moves, but first, Aaron Judge, big number 99, won his 2nd MVP award as far and away the most dominant hitter in the game. His regular season stats are up there with some of the best, a .322 average, 58 home runs, and 144 ribbies. He spoke to the media about the loss of Juan Soto to the Mets. That pass makes Smith the first player drafted out of Bama to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. A defensive masterclass from Philly shuts down Mahomes and his Chiefs. Mahomes has sacked a career-high 6 times, picked off twice, and sent back to Kansas City packing. Eagles win it 40-22.
I think after this game, I think it's really going to come down to whether the defense can hold out like they did against Carson Beck, like you said, with those 4 interceptions. So I think unless this defense can really shut down the rest of their opponents for the rest of the season, I think they're going to have to be pretenders. They're only ranked 19th right now. They're going to have to crack into, at least for me, that top 12 to 14 range to even be considered, especially with this now upset over Miami. They only beat Pitt by 1 score when they played them, which, unranked Pitt, only beating by 1 score. Not looking good for them, but we'll see how the rest of their season turns out. But for now, I'm going to say pretenders. Now,
the Yankees start hot. The Bombers were hungry for an opening series sweep against the Brewers in bottom of the 1st. Aaron Judge mashes a payoff fastball at the knees to deep left field. No doubt about it. 2-run shot puts the Yanks in front by 1, and that's his 4th of the year already. Ben Rice now in the bottom of the 2nd. Hammers one to the 2nd deck. Goodbye. Home run. Yanks up 3-1, and Rice is certainly filling Giancarlo Stanton's shoes as the DH. Yankees will go on to pile another 9 runs on and complete the sweep with the victory 12-3.
Yeah, there's all that can be said about the Dodgers is that they're an absolute juggernaut. And for any team to take them down, it was going to be a tall task this playoffs. But personally, I think the Blue Jays got it. I think they got it in 7. I think they're going to win it at home. And I think the reigning champs are going to be dethroned. The Blue Jays have a really deep team, and with maybe Bo Bichette coming back from his knee injury, I think we're going to see some more spark in their bats that they lost in the first 2 games against the Mariners. But yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting series, but it's definitely going to 7, and it's definitely going to the Jays.
The big story that took over opening weekend was the torpedo bats. The Yankees brought the attention to it with a 9-home run game using them on Saturday. These have been used in spring training and last season, but now they're in the spotlight. The bats are designed by former MIT physicist turned baseball analyst Aaron Leonhardt. The widest part of the bat is moved down to the barrel onto the sweet spot for harder and more frequent solid contact. The new shape is still within MLB's rules, but that didn't stop a storm of media around it. Some claim it's cheating and should be banned, and others say that if it's allowed by the books, then every team should use it.
I don't think there's any debate about that game that Ohtani had. It's got to be probably the best single game that anyone's ever had. But I think personally it's going to be Vlad. I think Vlad hit an insane ALCS, hitting .385, 10 hits, 3 home runs, 2 doubles, and only 2 strikeouts over 7 games. Absolutely ridiculous offensive line. So I think it's going to go to him. I think he's going to continue his dominance against the pitchers that he's faced in this playoffs. First, the Yankees pitchers. He struggled the first 2 games against the Mariners, going 0 for 7, 0 for 8, but then managed to battle back and eventually hit .385. So I think it's going to go to Vlad, and I think he's going to absolutely mash both at home and at Dodger Stadium. But I'm going to have to say the Cubs are my favorite team right now. Coming off a series win versus the Dodgers, big statement win in that series. They're 4-0-1 in their series right now. They haven't lost a single one. They split one against the D-backs, their first one. But I think they're a really well-developed team. I think at this point, I think they had a lot of young guys the last couple of years, and they've struggled to sort of stay afloat and stay into the playoff spots and keep the wild card spot. But I think this year is the year that they can actually make a good run for the playoffs. And I think both the opening series that they had against the Diamondbacks and then this past series against the Dodgers, I think we're definitely going to see either in the divisional or even hopefully the NLCS round.
It's like, for me, the kind of way I work through it in my head is that if all 5 of us go out there and play our best golf, there's no one who can compete with us. And with that being said, it's maybe not going to happen, but I think if we put our best foot forwards, we're going to have a great chance to win. And I think, like you're saying, where maybe our results, even thus far in the spring, and I guess the fall was good because we won the conference preview, but thus far in the spring maybe hasn't been as great as we've been looking for. But that's just kind of what I think our secret sauce is, where we're like somehow convinced in our heads that like when we go out there during those big moments, we're going to be the ones that perform, and they are just kind of going to falter. And whether that's true or not, we don't know. I mean, we have some history of success, but like we've somehow convinced ourselves that when it comes down to it, we're going to hit the big shots under pressure, and they're not. And sometimes just believing that is all that matters, not even knowing.
So one shot at a time.
One shot at a time.
Looking for the chase.